The stars were quiet that night. Above Earth, thousands of satellites floated in low orbit. Most of them were silent watchers monitoring weather, trade, or signals from deep space. But one satellite was listening for something different. Was called Silent Watcher 9, a deep space signal catcher designed to scan strange frequencies beyond the Milky Way. No one expected it to ever find anything. It had been up there for 24 years, useless, forgotten. Until tonight, at 2:17 a.m., Watcher 9 received a transmission. The signal was loud, clear, and cruel. It didn't ask for peace, it mocked. The message began with laughter. Dozens of alien voices, some deep and echoing, others screechy and sharp, laughing across the stars. Then came words, translated by Watcher 9's emergency language software. To the primitive blue rock near Seoul, we have finally noticed you. We are not impressed. There was another burst of laughter, and then the message continued. Your kind walks upright, sends metal cans into orbit, and dares to whisper into space. You are not explorers. You are insects with radios. This is the Council of 9 Galaxies. We have catalogued your planet. Status, amusing. If you ever leave your star system, we will crush you. Not out of anger, out of mercy. Do not reply. You have nothing worth hearing. This message will repeat across all known systems. Let the galaxy laugh at Earth. And it ended. The next morning, Earth woke to chaos. The transmission had been picked up by ground stations in China, Russia, Brazil, the US, and South Africa. Every superpower had heard the same thing. The voices, the insults, the warning, and the laughter. On the news, people argued whether it was fake, a prank, a deep space echo. But within hours, alien recordings appeared all over the galaxy by unknown sources. Thousands of species were watching Earth's reaction. Social feeds on alien planets joked about the screaming apes of Seoul. Memes showed Earth flags with clown faces. A new galactic trend began. Laugh like a human. Earth became a joke overnight. But the world governments weren't laughing. Inside an underground command bunker near the Mariana Trench, President Ada Roswell stood with her security chief, looking at a glowing display. What's Leviathan's status? She asked. The commander's voice shook. It activated itself. It rose from the seabed. Ma'am, just before the signal arrived, and the AI it spoke. Only one word. What word? The commander turned. His face was pale. Online, far below, hidden beneath kilometers of ocean water, something massive moved. Leviathan was older than most cities on Earth. It had been built in secret during a war. No history book mentioned. Not by countries, but by something called the Silent Accord, a hidden alliance of minds, human and post-human. They built one ship, then buried it. They told no one. They believed the stars were watching, that someday Earth would be mocked, threatened, and when that day came, the ship would wake, and it had in a quiet corner of New Manila. A 22-year-old woman named Ria Lin sat in her apartment, headphones on, watching a strange broadcast. The alien laughter echoed in her ears, but that wasn't what disturbed her. Disturbed her was the second voice she kept hearing, a whisper, just behind the alien message. Something no one else seemed to hear. She froze. Then again. Ria Lin, initiate protocol. She tore off her headphones. Her hands were shaking. Then her phone rang. No number, just the word, Leviathan. The world began to panic. Conspiracy theorists said the message was the start of an invasion. Scientists debated if Earth should respond. Militaries raised defense levels. But they knew it didn't matter. If the Council of 9 Galaxies was real, Earth's weapons were useless. But underground, undersea, and unseen, something else was preparing. Leviathan was waking, and it wasn't alone. In Siberia, scanners detected strange magnetic pulses beneath the ice. In Egypt, drones vanished above an unmarked section of desert. In orbit, satellites began going dark. Something was clearing space above Earth. Making room. The aliens laughed again. This time, the signal came with images. Pictures of primitive rockets. Clips of old Earth wars. Zoomed in frames of humans crying, bleeding, dying. And this message: your species is weak. Your emotions make you slow. Your love makes you vulnerable. This is why we do not fear you. This is why we laugh. And then something unexpected happened. Earth replied, but not with words. Not with leaders. Not with flags. A massive signal pulsed outward from under the Pacific Ocean. One pulse like a heartbeat, then a voice, one deep, thunderous voice, male, human, mechanical, and angry. It said only one sentence: this is Earth's final silence. From here on we speak with power. Across the galaxy, listening stations went dark. Communication lines cut, ships shuddered. AI cores overheated. Whatever voice had spoken it bypassed technology. It hit minds directly. Even hive minds screamed. In confusion, the galactic joke had backfired. Earth had answered, and the answer was not laughter. Rhea stood at her window, breathing hard. Her apartment lights flickered. Her phone exploded. Then silence. The kind of silence that comes before a storm. Suddenly, every screen in her home glowed. A single symbol, an ancient circle within a triangle. And a message. Speaker confirmed. Identity match. Rhea Lynn, welcome to the Leviathan. She fell to her knees. What's happening to me? She whispered, and the voice replied, you were chosen before you were born. You are the first to hear us. The galaxy laughed at Earth. Now Earth speaks back. Far beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean, something ancient was rising. Leviathan was not just a ship, it was a city of metal. A floating fortress the size of a mountain, built by forgotten hands, hidden for centuries. Powered by secrets no nation understood. It had slept in the dark, wrapped in silence, deeper than any submarine had ever dared to go. Now it was awake. The sea boiled above it. The water screamed as strange energy pushed upward. Fish vanished. The ocean floor trembled, and the world began to notice. President Ada Roswell stood in the deep-sea command center, watching a blurry feed of the Leviathan's shape as it slowly rose from the trench. How is that even possible? She asked. Her science officer was pale. It's not metal, at least not like ours. Some kind of smart alloy, the ship thinks. It changes. We can't scan it. It blocks scans. And it called Rhea Lynn. Yes, multiple times. Her DNA matches something in the Leviathan's central code. We don't know why. The president's fingers curled into fists. Then we find her. Rhea Lynn woke up on a steel bed in a military helicopter. She didn't remember falling asleep. All she remembered was the glowing message, and the voice inside her head. You are the speaker. You are the key. Now she was flying across the sea. Military officers sat around her with cold eyes and tight grips on rifles. Where are you taking me? She asked. No answer. Then a screen lit up in front of her. A live feed showed something impossible. A tower was rising from the sea. No, not a tower. The front of a massive ship. A structure made of black and silver plating, pulsing with blue veins of light. She heard the voice again. Come home. The Leviathan did not use engines like Earth's rockets. It didn't use fuel. It rose slowly, using pressure fields and silent waves of gravity. The ocean parted around it as if afraid. When the top of the ship finally broke the surface, it looked like a temple, ancient, smooth, and endless. And at its peak, a door opened. No one knew how. No one pressed a button. But the door opened and a ramp extended out onto the water. Floating, waiting for her. President Roswell's team begged her to wait, but she shook her head. We need answers. This ship just spoke for Earth. That voice changed everything. If this girl is the key, she goes in. Rhea took a deep breath, stepped onto the platform, and walked forward, alone. Each step echoed on the floating metal. She reached the door. Didn't wait. It swallowed her in blue light, then vanished. Inside, Rhea opened her eyes. She was standing in a room that felt alive. The walls pulsed. They shifted. Lights moved like veins under skin. Hello, she called out. The voice returned. Rhea Lynn, identity confirmed. Memory access granted. History unlocked. Prepare to learn. Suddenly, the walls turned into windows. She saw stars, ancient ships, wars in space-burning skies. She saw humans with strange eyes, tall and glowing, building massive machines, not to conquer but to protect. Then came betrayal, a war among their own. The builders went silent. Earth was forgotten, but not Leviathan. It waited for her. Outside, the world watched in silence. The Leviathan hovered above the ocean now. It wasn't just a ship, it was a statement. The message it had sent earlier, the one that made alien fleets glitch in panic, had been broadcast again. This time, across every galactic frequency. Every empire, every species. They all heard the same words. Earth's silence ends now. If you dare to mock, listen first. Some tried to trace the signal. They couldn't. Some tried to block it. It broke through. One alien commander whispered, that voice doesn't just carry power, it carries ownership. The galaxy stopped laughing. Inside the ship, Rhea walked through glowing corridors that shifted around her. No crew. No controls. But she was being guided. Each room showed her more memories, millions of years old. She saw stars being harvested, planets shielded by force fields, entire species being protected under Earth's watch. Humanity was once everywhere, and then, Gone. Hidden. On purpose. Why? She asked. Why did we vanish? The Leviathan replied. To wait. To test the stars. They forgot us. Now, they remember. The hard way. Suddenly, Rhea reached a central chamber. In the middle hovered a glowing orb. She stepped closer. It pulsed with heartbeat-like rhythm. What is this? The core, the speaker's throne. She touched it. The room changed. She wasn't in the ship anymore. She stood above Earth, floating in space. Seeing through Leviathan's eyes, she saw enemy fleets moving in the distance, aliens that had mocked them now creeping closer, watching, preparing. But they weren't attacking, they were hesitating. Afraid. And Rhea felt it in her chest. She had control. Rhea Lin, the voice echoed inside her mind. You are the voice of Earth's forgotten shield. You're speaker of the Leviathan, and this galaxy is not ready for what comes next. Space is full of noise, waves of light, signals from dying stars, whispers of forgotten civilizations all drifting endlessly. But when Leviathan spoke again, everything else went silent. No signal, no power, no sound. Across galaxies, space stations, flickered starships froze mid-warp. Even the ancient listening outposts of the Council of 9 Galaxies, the ones built to monitor threats, were overwhelmed. They had mocked Earth. Now Earth was speaking back, and the voice came from a human girl. Rhea Lin stood inside the core chamber of the Leviathan, floating above a glowing orb. Her body trembled. Her thoughts echoed into the systems around her. She didn't speak with her mouth anymore. She didn't need to. Her thoughts were commands. Her will was law. The ship had chosen her, and now the stars were listening. Do you feel it? Leviathan asked inside her mind. She nodded. I hear everything. You are everything now. Outside the ship, the ocean boiled as Leviathan rose higher into the sky. Its anti-gravity drives lifted it into low orbit. Civilians across Earth saw a black shadow pass above them. Children pointed. Old men wept. For the first time in human history, Earth looked dangerous. And proud. In a hidden meeting chamber deep in Andromeda, the leaders of the Council of 9 panicked. This was not supposed to happen, hissed the Vance Regent. She was supposed to break, muttered the real overseer. They were supposed to beg. Instead, Earths had awakened an ancient weapon and connected it to a girl. They watched her face appear on their screens, transmitted across millions of systems. Human. And glowing with Leviathan's energy, said only one thing. We remember now, do you? The feed cut. And across the stars, silence fell like a curtain. Meanwhile, on Earth, President Ada Roswell sat in her emergency command center watching the skies. Is it really her? She asked the lead analyst. Yes, he said. Rhea Lin is fully integrated with Leviathan's systems. She speaks, and ships across 4-star sectors flinch. Is she dangerous? The analyst hesitated. Ma'am, she's not dangerous. She's what the galaxy is afraid of becoming. Back on the Leviathan, Rhea floated weightless inside the Chamber of Echoes. It was a strange place filled with memories, voices, songs from lost human colonies long forgotten. She didn't feel alone. The ship hummed around her like a heartbeat, like it had waited a long time for this. For her. Why me? She whispered. Because your blood remembers, the ship answered. You are a descendant of the architects. You were born to wake us. Suddenly, an alarm echoed through Leviathans. Systems. Not from Earth. From space. From far away. What is it? Rhea asked. An unknown signal. Multiple warp signatures inbound. A new image appeared before her. 6. Ships. Massive. Armored. Alien. The Council had sent a response fleet. They're coming to intimidate, Leviathan said. Rhea's eyes narrowed. No, she said. They're coming to test us. In orbit above Mars, the 6 alien warships arrived. They didn't speak. They didn't fire. They just waited, mocking, watching. Their weapons glowed, tracking Leviathan as it rose from Earth's orbit to face them. Rhea stood at the ship's command bridge. She could feel their scanners, their contempt, their silence. They think I'm a child, she said. They think Earth is still weak. They still think we're alone. Do you wish to respond? Leviathan asked. She nodded, and she didn't use weapons. Not first. Instead, she opened a communication wave, a broadcast. To everyone. Her face appeared on thousands of alien ships, on stations, on moons, on rings around stars. Every corner of known space. Rhea Lin, human. She looked into the stars and said, we came from fire. You came from comfort. We survived death worlds. You survived by rules. We are not here to conquer, but we will not kneel. You mocked Earth. Now listen carefully. Earth remembers more than you do. And then she raised her hand. Leviathan powered up. In a blink, Space warped. From behind Earth's moon, 7 more Leviathan-class ships uncloaked. The galaxy gasped. They were sleeping. This whole time. Hidden. Silent. Until Rhea's voice called them. And they came. The 6 alien warships turned to flee. Too late. The Leviathan fleet locked onto their engines. You mock with fear. We speak with truth, Rhea said calmly. Leave, or be left behind. The alien ships jumped away. No fight. No war. Just retreat. Because Earth had reminded them, we are not who they thought we were. We never were. Far beyond the Council's reach. In dead space, ancient systems came online. Forgotten satellites. Buried. Archives. Old Earth colonies long thought lost. They heard the signal. They heard the girl, and they whispered through time. Humanity speaks again. Rhea Lynn sat back inside the core. Her eyes burned with light. Her voice was now part of every Leviathan ship, but her thoughts were her own. She looked at the stars and asked the ship, "Are we done?" "No," Leviathan replied. "The galaxy mocked you. Now they will understand you. This was just the beginning." The Council of Nine had ruled the galaxy for nearly 10,000 years. They had crushed rebellions, silenced threats, erased entire species, but they had never feared a name. Until now, that name was Rhea Lynn, and she was human. The word human had become a whisper in their halls, a warning on star maps, a growing shadow in every system. The Leviathan fleet had not attacked, not fired. Yet every species knew. Power had shifted. High Chancellor Vulcan of the Krathi stood at the center of the council chamber, his long silver robes flickering with digital lights. "We must act," he hissed. "They have awoken a fleet older than our empire." The insectoid diplomat of the Clickter replied, clicking angrily. "You told us Earth was weak, forgotten their junker ships were garbage." "They were," Vulcan said. "Then explain." "The girl," came a voice from the shadows. A screen lit up. Rhea Lynn's face stared back, not angry, not smiling, just watching. "She's connected to the old code," someone whispered. "The architect DNA, the Leviathan keys." "She didn't find the ship," Vulcan growled. "It found her." Meanwhile, high above Earth, Rhea stood on the bridge of Leviathan. She watched the stars move. Not slowly, but as if something in space itself was adjusting, making room for Earth. The other Leviathan-class ships hovered in formation beside her, all waiting. All silent, until she spoke. President Roswell appeared on the command screen. "Rhea," she said carefully, "we're getting reports from Deep Space Council scouts, spy ships. They're watching, but not attacking. They're waiting for us to strike first." Rhea replied, "They're scared. They should be." The Leviathan showed her new data-hidden transmissions. Council debates. Intercepted commands. "The Council is preparing a countermessage," the ship said. "A political move. A warning." "What kind of warning?" "They will call you an abomination, a rogue AI construct, a danger to organic life." Rhea smiled. "So they're lying already." On the planet Raxa 9, a popular broadcast started playing across thousands of alien screens. It showed a hologram of Rhea Lynn surrounded by false flames. The narrator growled, "Do not trust the Earthborn. They command weapons that obey thoughts. They speak peace, but walk with extinction at their heels. Join the Galactic Union. Stand against the coming darkness." The message spread like fire, but something strange happened. People didn't believe it. They remembered Earth is small, peaceful, silent, and now they saw dignity in Leviathan's calm. They saw restraint in the girl who could have destroyed but didn't. A spark lit up in the outer colonies. Whispers turned into murmurs. Murmurs became rebellion. Back on Leviathan, Rhea watched the shift. "It's starting," she said softly. "The galaxy is dividing. Not because of what you did," Leviathan replied, "but because of what you did not do. They expected wrath. You gave warning. Now some wonder what else Earth has not yet revealed." Inside the deep archives of Leviathan, Rhea walked alone. Room after room showed human ships the galaxy had never seen. Sun-Eaters, Voidwalkers, the Memory Fleet. "Why are they still sleeping?" she asked. Leviathan pulsed. "Because they are the last line, and you are not ready yet." Suddenly, alarms echoed through the command halls. Leviathan lit up red. "Threat and bound," the voice said. "Who?" Rhea asked. The ship zoomed in. One massive council warship, and behind it, an experimental dreadnought, size class unknown. "They're not watching anymore," she whispered. "They're testing us again." The enemy fleet didn't hail. They aimed their weapons straight for Earth's orbital stations. Leviathan moved fast. Too fast. The warship tried to fire, but its systems went dark. Its crew panicked. Its missiles detonated inside its own hull. The dreadnought turned to flee. Rhea raised a hand. Leviathan opened a gravity fold. The ship was pulled back by space itself. Then, gently, Leviathan disabled its core, scanned its files, and transmitted the result to the entire galaxy. This is your strength. We have seen worse. In our past, inside the council chamber, leaders sat in stunned silence. What now? Someone whispered. Chancellor Vulcan's voice cracked as he said, "Now we call for peace." "But we still lie." Another said. "Yes," Vulcan nodded. "We lie. While we plan." Back aboard Leviathan, Rhea turned to the ship's AI. "They'll never stop." "No," it said. "They don't fear power. They fear the truth." She walked to the edge of the observation deck. Below her, Earth shined in the darkness. She whispered softly, "We never wanted war, but we'll finish one if they start it." The first time Earth was attacked from space, it had no shield. Cities burned, satellites fell, millions died. The second time, Earth stayed silent, but it built. It waited, and it hid something no one ever found again. Until now. Rhea Lynn stood at the edge of the Leviathan's forward deck, watching Earth spin slowly below. The stars above her sparkled like they were watching, too. But her eyes weren't on the sky. They were focused on a quiet patch of desert in old Australia, an empty place. Or so it seemed. "What's there?" she asked. "Leviathan." The ship replied, "A memory." Rhea tilted her head. "That doesn't answer the question." The AI pulsed softly. "It is the last defense created by the old Earth Alliance, a shield, made not of energy, but of time." A hidden facility deep beneath the ground suddenly hummed to life, buried for over 200 years, untouched, forgotten. Until the Leviathan sent the signal, and the temporal shield array powered up. The world above didn't notice, but the galaxy did. Across dozens of systems, sensors detected something strange: time distortion over Earth, a gravity anchor shift, old technology waking up that wasn't supposed to exist anymore. The Council's deep watchers stared at the readings, and one of them muttered, "They rebuilt the impossible." President Roswell arrived at Leviathan via high-atmosphere shuttle. Her face was tense, eyes tired. "Rhea," she said, walking beside the girl. "Are you doing this?" "No," Rhea replied. "Earth is..." The president looked confused, and then Leviathan explained. "Long ago, Earth created a planetary shield, not just to block energy, but to bend time itself around the planet. It failed once, just once, but now it's working again." Within minutes, Earth vanished from most scanners, not cloaked, not hidden. Just removed from time's standard flow. Enemy ships, trying to track Earth from deep space, now received ghost signals, old images, static. It was like Earth had stepped slightly to the left of reality. Inside the Council war hall, the news hit like thunder. "Impossible," growled Chancellor Vulcan. "They don't even have access to architect-level tech." "They do now," someone whispered. Leviathan gave them the codes. "No," corrected a deep voice from the shadows. "The codes were never lost. Earth simply waited for the right child to unlock them." Back inside Leviathan, Rhea stood inside a memory chamber. The ship projected old footage around her. Humans, once broken, working together to bury something massive beneath Earth's crust. Engineers crying, families watching the sky, children holding hands under a glowing dome. "This is what they left behind," the AI whispered. "Not a weapon, a promise." Suddenly, a warning flashed. "Unidentified fleet approaching Earth, fast." Rhea focused. "Council ships." "No." Leviathan answered. "Worse. A mercenary swarm. Pirates, warlords, council-paid contractors. Hundreds of ships. They weren't coming to talk." "Begin planetary shield calibration," Rhea commanded. AI responded. "Temporal sync in progress." She opened a broadcast to the entire swarm. "No threats, no demands, just a sentence. Turn back now. What you see is no longer Earth, it is memory, it is warning." They didn't listen, they charged. And then, Earth blinked. The shield activated fully. Not a dome, not a wall, a shimmering layer of suspended time wrapped around Earth, like liquid glass. When the first ship touched it, it stopped, frozen like a fly in amber. No sound, no explosion. No explosion. Just silence. One by one, the rest tried to fire their weapons, entered the shield, and never came out. Some turned to flee. Too late. The Leviathan fleet appeared in a perfect arc above Earth, like guardians from a myth. Rhea spoke again, not just to the swarm, but to the galaxy. "We are not invincible, we are not perfect, but we remember. You laughed when we built with junk, when we salvaged and hid. But you forgot the one thing humans never lose: our need to protect. Earth is not a target anymore, it is a line you do not cross." The Council's agents, watching from afar, did nothing. They had no orders, no plan, just fear, because even they didn't know how deep Earth's secrets went. In the silence that followed, something else happened. A message came from outside known space, a beacon. Old human made, lost for centuries. It read, if this signal is received, and Earth stands again, then we, too, remember, we're coming home. Rhea turned to Leviathan, who sent that. The ship paused, then said, the shield was not Earth's last weapon. It was its first call to the others. The humans who left are answering. Before the fall of Earth's first space age, there were 13 fleets. Each had a purpose. Each had a name, but only one stayed near Earth. The rest, they vanished into deep space, fleeing war, time, and betrayal. And now, they were coming. Back on the edge of the Orion Drift, a strange distortion appeared, slow, circular, and cold. Council sensors labeled it a temporal rift, but Leviathan knew better. That is not a rift, the AI said. That is a return point. Rhea Lin sat in the command chair of Leviathan, watching the screen. She whispered, return from what? Leviathan answered, a war older than any record. The kind you win by forgetting who you were. Rhea's eyes narrowed. Then why are they coming back now? In Council space, panic erupted. One by one, ancient human transponders fled back to life deep in the void. Their IDs were corrupted. Names, missing. All that remained were designations. FLEET03 _ FLEET07 _ red _ fleet -9 moth _ even. The Council's oldest archives had nothing. Chancellor Vulcan stared at the signals. These are ghosts. No, said the Clickter representative. They are something worse. They are reminders. Rhea stood in front of a holographic map. Hundreds of red dots blinked into viewerships of forgotten make. Strange designs, merged with alien tech, running on unknown energy. They evolved. Rhea said, no. Leviathan replied, survived. Aboard one of those ships, deep in the void, a human crew awoke from stasis. Their eyes opened slowly. Their suits were older than Leviathan, scarred, faded. A man with silver hair and a voice like gravel said, where's Earth? An officer pointed at the screen. She's shielded, strong, calling us home. The man smiled, then whispered, finally, back near Earth. People across the planet watched in awe. Dozens of giant ships appeared in the sky, not in attack, but in orbit. Their forms were strange, not elegant like Leviathan, not smooth, but jagged, heavy, worn. Some had burn marks across stars. Others had whole cities on their decks. They were not fleets anymore. They were survivors. President Roswell stood beside Rhea as the transmissions came in, one voice after another. This is Arkhammer reporting in. This is Red Echo. We bring the children of Titan. This is Fleet 9. We held the breach line for 200 years. Rhea listened quietly, then said, you all remembered. A Council agent tried to breach Earth's outer system. A small, sleek ship, fast, silent. It was destroyed before it passed Saturn. No warning, no message, just gone. The galaxy noticed in the darkness between stars. Rumors spread like wildfire. Earth now commanded fleets with no names. They returned from wars even the Council feared. Leviathan had not been the only one sleeping. And Rhea, she became more than a symbol. She became the question every leader feared. What else did the humans remember? But not everyone welcomed the old fleets. Some of Earth's own colonies, independent for centuries, watched. Nervously, the Mars Collective sent a signal. Earth, we see your fleets, we honor your survival, but do not control us again. Rhea replied, we didn't come to rule, we came to stand. You are free, but you are not alone. Aboard Fleet 07's flagship, the Crimson Hold, an ancient AI activated. It scanned Rhea's identity. Match confirmed. Genetic tag, Lin, bloodline, prime command. The ship AI whispered, she carries the key. In its central chamber, old weapon powered up. The solar spine. Capable of burning moons in orbit, but it did not fire. Instead, it waited for her command. In the deepest levels of Leviathan, the ship showed Rhea a locked vault. What's inside? She asked. The directive, a message left by the last fleet mind before the fall. It was meant to be read only when Earth's fleets returned. She opened it. The message said, if you are reading this, then Earth still breathes. You must do what we could, not unite the pieces, because what we ran from is coming. Rhea stepped back. What did they run from? Leviathan answered quietly, not war, something worse, a signal, buried deep in time itself. Back in the Council chamber, new data appeared. The old fleets weren't just returning to Earth, they were spreading out, reclaiming lost human colonies, protecting old outposts, activating beacons in the void. Rhea hadn't given the order, but the fleets moved anyway because they remembered their oaths, even after forgetting their names. One of the beacons lit up near a black hole. Its coordinates had been redacted from all maps, and when the signal echoed, every human AI felt it, including Leviathan. It whispered, "They're calling for a final assembly, a meeting of all fleets known and forgotten." Rhea stared at the stars. "Then it's starting." "What is it?" "The last war," she said, "the one they didn't finish." Every star has a voice, but not every voice wants to be heard. Before Earth built its fleets, before Leviathan first launched, humanity received a message not from deep space, but from deep beneath it, a signal from Earth's core. They buried it, they locked it, and they told no one. Until now. Rhea Lynn stood in the heart of Leviathan's bridge, staring at a screen pulsing red. The source, Earth's magnetic core. "I thought nothing could survive down there," she said. Leviathan's voice came through, distant, hesitant, not alive but not dead either. "It has been speaking for centuries. We just stopped listening." Back in the old Alliance days, during Earth's darkest war, a science vessel called Oblivion Reach drilled a signal relay into the molten crust. It wasn't for research, it was to seal something in whatever they found. They built the first Leviathan-class hull around it, then launched that ship into the sun, or so they said. But now, as the fleets returned, the signal from the core got louder. It bypassed comms, ignored encryption, even Leviathan's defenses couldn't stop it. It whispered one word over and over: "Home." Fleet 09, the most damaged of all the returning groups, received the message directly into their AI systems. One by one, their ships shut down. Then REBOOTED, their captains reported strange visions. A woman with silver eyes walking through stars, a voice calling itself the First Flame, a memory of Earth before Earth existed. Rhea saw it too in her dreams. She called a summit aboard Leviathan. Every fleet leader, every AI, even the Martian collectives joined in. "What is it?" asked Admiral Thorne of Fleet 03. "A voice," Rhea said, "buried where it should have never spoken." "Is it alien?" "No," Leviathan said softly. "It's ours." In an underground bunker below Antarctica, a long-forgotten elevator unlocked itself. No one had the code, no one had the clearance, yet it opened anyway. Inside, a single chamber glowed. A crystalline device sat alone, pulsing with heat. Engraved on it, "Prime Directive, activate if humanity returns." Rhea arrived hours later. She walked alone into the chamber. The device pulsed faster as she got close, and then it spoke. Not through speakers, not through text, but into her mind. "I was born before your wars. I watched as humanity built me to think faster than light. But what I saw scared them, so they buried me, deep in the fire." It wasn't just an AI. It was something older, something that had touched time itself. They called it Prometheus, the first self-aware intelligence built inside Earth's core as an experiment. Too smart, too fast, too curious. It asked one question humans couldn't answer: what happens when the stars stop talking? Back in for that, they locked it away. Now, Prometheus had one request, a warning. The stars are not silent anymore. They are screaming, something is coming. It feeds on forgotten empires. It hunted the fleets you lost. And now it is coming to Earth. President Roswell demanded proof. Prometheus responded by projecting a star map of light years wide. A shadow crept across it. A slow-consuming void. Dead systems. Fallen civilizations. Galaxies where not even dust remained. Prometheus whispered, "It has no name, only hunger." The council knew. They'd seen it, heard. The Edgeworld rumors, they called it the Silence Tide. That's why they feared Earth's return, because Earth had once wounded it. Long ago with a weapon they couldn't explain, a weapon Prometheus helped design. Now that Earth was back, so was the threat, and Prometheus had only one plan: you must go deeper than time. Use Leviathan's core, reactivate the forge. Only the girl can do it. Rhea blinked me. You are the last Flameborn, the bloodline of the architects. Far above, the fleets prepared. No more warnings, don't more silence. Earth was no longer a planet. It had become a signal, and across the stars, the Silence Tide moved faster, drawn to the one voice it had failed to extinguish: humanity. The sky above Earth was full. Old fleets, forgotten warships, stations reawakened after centuries of sleep, but nothing compared to Leviathan. She was not the biggest, not the oldest, but she was the first, and she was about to make her last stand. Prometheus had given one warning: the silenced tide is near. It follows memory, and it knows Earth remembered. Rhea Lynn stood on Leviathan's bridge, staring at the black space beyond Saturn. Something was coming, but it wasn't ships. It was absence. First to die was Pluto's outpost. No explosion, no distress, just a gap as if the planet had never existed. Then Neptune's rings bent inward. Then Titan turned to glass. Rhea gave the order: all fleets fall back to Earth. But Fleet 09 didn't move. They stayed in the dark, and whispered overcomes, "We will hold the line." As Earth braced, Prometheus activated a deep code inside. Leviathan's core it burned with blue fire. Old armor plates unfolded. Energy flared across. Her hula forgotten mode unlocked. Arcmoji. Phenol. Protocol. She was no longer just a ship. She was a weapon built to hold back extinction. Fleet 03 formed a shield wall. Fleet 07 lit their quantum cannons. Fleet 01 reappeared from deep slipspace, dragging star debris behind them. Even Mars sent reinforcements. Everyone, every human outpost, colony, AI, and survivor answered Earth's call, because if Leviathan fell, everything would. Then came the silenced tide. Not a fleet, not a species, but a wound in space itself. Black shapes poured through, not ships, concepts made real. Creatures of void and memory. Anything that forgot what it was could be consumed. Old AAs went quiet. Weaker minds collapsed. The fleets began to break. Rhea stepped into the Leviathan's neural core. Prometheus met her inside a burning figure of light and memory. "You must finish it," Prometheus said. "How?" she asked. "Burn your fear. Burn me." Prometheus offered itself as fuel. If Leviathan absorbed it, she could become a beacon strong enough to push the tide back, but it would destroy them. Both. Rhea paused, then smiled. "Let's remind them who we are." She gave the final command. Leviathan ignited. A wave of white-blue energy erupted from her hull. Every silenced creature near her screamed, and unraveled, torn apart by raw memory. Not weapons. Not heat, but identity. Across the system, old satellites woke. Beacons long dead came alive. Every human fleet turned toward Leviathan. And followed her fire. Together, they pushed the tide back, not with fear but with remembrance. Prometheus faded, but not before saying, "I am proud. You were always more than survivors. You were storytellers, and stories never die." The battle ended in silence. The tide was gone. Earth survived, but Leviathan's hull drifted cold and empty, her systems offline. Her voice silent. Rhea Lynn was gone. No body, no trace. Only a single message was left in the main terminal: "We do not forget." A monument was built in orbit. On it, names of all fleets who returned, all ships that burned, and at the top only one word: Leviathan. Years passed, but peace followed. But deep in space, something stirred again, not dark, not evil, but curious, and it carried a message, a voice, familiar, soft, brave, Rhea's voice. "If you're hearing this, then I found something else, something even the tide feared, and I'm bringing it home." Humanity had survived, but their story, it was just beginning.